And we live. Hey, welcome to another episode of Easy Sports. And today I've got a full house. I got Cheese, Onke, Shiva, Sile. What's happening, Cheese?
All good, all good.
X-Men.
Very well.
Very well.
Shivar makes sure that he's not available when his team does his team.
No, guys. Honestly, that day it was actually the day that we got back from the offsite, and I was running on 4 hours of sleep that whole weekend. So I was in bed by 6 o'clock.
Oh, I
So-
know.
We could have shot at 5 o'clock just for you.
Funny. O's got
Yeah.
jokes. O's got.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
draw one game, Sisle. You've drawn one game. Now you've got jokes.
No,
This happened this happened last time as well, Shiva. Last
And
time
also-
when we drew against them 4-4 as well. Yeah, the same
He had
chirpy
jokes.
person was like this.
Come on.
It was chirpy.
I was
Don't
at a
be like-
restaurant. I was at a
don't-
restaurant during the game,
Don't-
and
don't
every
spread-
time I look at
don't
the screen,
spread-
I saw City attacking, and I'm like, how the hell are Chelsea winning this?
Don't spread
Yeah.
It's
lies.
because of Disasi. The guy who's wearing the blue shirts on the show today.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I rewatched the game, and
Yeah.
you know there's what you call how the game flows, and then there's what you call the actual game in terms of box entries, danger profile of the attacks and stuff like that. I think that game was one of those games where if you look at the flow of the game, it looks like the game is one-sided. But when you look at the areas that team wants to dominate, they were really struggling to dominate in those areas. They had the ball, but they were struggling to dominate the areas where they are active and they are very dangerous. And I think ultimately when you are devising a defensive game plan, those are some of the things that you want to get right. Even though I think we were lucky at the end of the day, but I think tactically the approach to the game was one that worked because the aim was to frustrate City in the places where they enjoy having the ball the most.
Yeah, no, in agreement with you on that. We rode our luck, and there were a couple of moments that I won't get into the substitutions because I know Onke has got a gripe with my substitutions that Pochettino made, but the first half we were part of the conversation, and if we're being honest, the goal that we got, it was coming because minutes before we scored that goal, the exact play occurred, and we weren't clever enough. And I do get your point, Onke, when you say the substitutions cost us the game. They did. Lady Luck was on our side, and if you go to the Etihad and you walk away with the draw, not a lot of teams walk away with the draw at Etihad. You walk away with the draw. You brush up.
Actually, this season there's quite a lot. So
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, of the top six, and I'm not including myself in the top six. Top six teams.
The only team we've
City
beaten in top
hasn't
six
done well
is United.
against those
We haven't beaten any top 6 team this season.
I'm
Yeah.
just
So you
saying.
haven't beaten any
I just
top
had to
six
slide that
teams.
in there. But yeah, so
Yeah, well, United's also not
question.
number 6. You
Are-
guys
are
are
they-
still
are they
not
six?
6. After not
No,
being
they're
unbeaten the whole year. Guys, what were you doing in 2023?
They are
Don't make a
six.
record. Don't make a record. It's fine. We take. We get it.
I'm
Oh,
sure
no,
they're
I'm
sixth.
speaking about United.
Calm down.
United, what are United?
They're sixth. I'm sure they're sixth.
Sixth,
Guys, it's been long now.
Yeah, they're
Let's
top
see.
6.
Okay.
So we haven't
I don't-
beaten, and I'm including Chelsea to be polite in the discussion because I mean it's a big team that
Thank
shouldn't
you
be
for your
down there.
politeness. We
Yeah,
appreciate your
they,
politeness.
they shouldn't be down there. I mean, if they can draw against City, that means they can beat other
It's
teams,
very
right?
difficult.
That's the-
It's very difficult for you to choose to
That's
be
the
polite.
assumption.
I
No, I'm
told you
just-
this. I said this when we drew against City. I said this when we drew against Liverpool. Against teams that want to dominate us, the strength of the counter is what will work for us. that has been Poch's play since he started coaching, from Southampton to Tottenham Hotspur. And this is why he's always frustrated Pep, because he can really devise a plan for a counter attack. I think in the first half he got it right. The plan was to draw Nathan Ake in, attack his flank. It worked. We created two great chances. Nicholas Jackson was supposed to score. He did great to create for Sterling to score the first goal. But that was two goals easy from that simple game plan of attacking Nathan, because Palmer was pulling him in, and then he'd play a 1-2, release the ball onto the flank. We have an extra man to take that space, and then that man plays the ball quickly, and then it's a one-on-one. I think it was clear that was the game plan. I think in the second half, we started the second half different completely. The application was different. We were much more scared. It seemed as though the tactic was invite pressure, absorb pressure, and then, because in the first half there were periods where we would keep the ball.
Yeah.
We were
Okay.
retaining the ball. We're playing through the lines. Disasi was amazing passing through the lines. I think he was the one who was helping us sometimes release pressure from the last line of defense. When City would press, Disasi was one of those players that was able to pass through the lines. I think he penetrated that midfield with so many passes, and we weren't able to also create on the half turn, to create counters effectively from those, because they're not an opportunity if the ball is in the center. But if City is pressing and you've got space to run at their defense, that's a chance. You have to
Yeah.
convert that. You have to make that, become something. And I think
Second half.
Ederson had a great game as well. We created some great chances, and he also had a great
For
game.
the first time this season, he made the saves.
Yeah.
But second half, we had no outball. When the first half, we had that outball of pace. Second half, that didn't exist. When he took out Sterling, and I thought to myself, okay, sure, maybe he's gonna put a bit of pace in our number 10, who's that number 10 jersey is very heavy on him, and he didn't.
Who is your
And
number 10?
also when he pulled Palmer out.
It's Mudryk, number 10.
Modric.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when he pulled out Palmer, that is when I went, okay, he's pulling Palmer for a defender, and he packed 5 defenders, and I was like, we're asking for trouble here, because we're literally inviting City to come and break us. And I don't know the lines, whether you guys saw. Okay, you must probably have seen, because you rewatched the game. We're lines of the 5. And
Yes.
then there's the
Oh.
it was literally like that. And whenever
Yeah.
we have the ball, the only thing we can do is hoof it forward. And Christopher, I'm a tad irritated. He's not match fit. I get it, because he hasn't played enough games. There's a chance that he should have buried that. But I think it's shoot. Haaland had a horror show. He could have put us to bed. He could have.
I also think we also have a problem with the fact that Grealish is out. We have a bigger problem than you realize, because Doku's good, right? But we don't play. Teams don't let us counter attack a lot. Teams always sit very deep for us, so it doesn't. Doku's not as effective in those kind of games. And whenever I feel that ball goes to him, he tries too hard to make something happen, and you're not always going to make something happen, especially, and that's what Jack Grealish realized very fast at Man City, that you don't always have to make everything happen when you have the ball. When you shift teams around, there's always going to space somewhere else, and eventually the ball will come back and will cross it, and you might be at the back post to tap it in. Udoku wants to receive the ball very wide, then run at defenders all the time, and they double up on him. So he becomes very predictable. And also, I've realized our midfield doesn't sort of support him, because they're expecting him to make magic all the time. So
I rate your
our
point.
left side.
Gusto
Our
had
left,
it.
our left side with Doku, especially in teams who are going to be defensive, it's not effective. We don't have it with him on the pitch. He doesn't have his great ball controlling and slowing down the tempo. Every time I get to him, I feel like he's on a rock and roll. He's more like Diaz at Liverpool, and
Do you
we
agree
need
with this?
someone who can keep the tempo. Because in that game
Tonight?
against Chelsea, I mean, once five defenders are on, you always have two defenders on you if the ball goes to the left wing, and there's always going to be two guys for Haaland in the box anyway. So we
But
need to fix
kids,
the previous
let's be
situation.
fair on the kid. This is his first season at EPL. There's a
Yeah.
But
player
you'll
there.
get better.
I
Yeah.
think
You
So then
have
Simeone
that
does.
habit
my
of
problem is
yeah. I'm saying
Yeah.
you
because
have that habit of
I'm not saying he's
players
bad.
coming in and having a bad first season and then having an
Uh-huh.
amazing second season. We've seen that now with how many players?
With Jack
Almost
even.
everyone, right?
Jack
Even
Even
Jack is the
even
last
Grealish,
player. Like everyone
Yeah.
said it.
even Grealish.
and
But
Rodri.
but I'm not saying.
Yeah,
But see, the
Rodri as
difference.
well to an extent.
I'm not saying Doku's bad, right? I'm not saying Doku's bad. Doku is a really good winger. I'm just saying right now, when teams play against City, guys sit deep.
Uh-huh.
There's not much space for him to work with behind defenders, and he
Mm.
always tries to cut in towards the more packed. There's double teaming against him, and I think in games where it's much more open, like at Spurs, he would be really, really dangerous because Spurs
They
struggle
give you the
to play, or they
space.
try to play like City. They push really high up the pitch and they give you
Yeah.
the space behind. So against Spurs, we can put money today. He's gonna have one of the best games this season. But
Uh-huh.
against teams who are going to have a low block, we have that same problem that United have with Rashford. He's
Yeah.
always going to try to make something happen.
Yes, and Anthony as well. He's that ilk of player, the one that wants to
Ish.
beat his man
Ah, no,
instead
that's
of
harsh. That's very
no.
harsh.
He plays like Anthony.
This
No, he
no
does
no.
play like him.
I know, James.
He does against low blocks. He wants to take on his man, and it's
Uh,
not always what you need to do. Sometimes you need to play off someone else and then run into space because it's either this guy beats you with 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 a tackle or they beat you with pace. You need to force a fullback to make a decision. Gusto won't beat that guy with pace. There were many occasions. There were many occasions where he drew Gusto to him, but wasn't utilizing his midfield to create space for himself to actually force Gusto into mistakes off the ball. Force Gusto into mistakes when receiving the ball. That's when you can get penalties. Sterling learned that very early with Pep. Sterling wanted to be a 1v1 winger. He's that now at Chelsea. That's what he wanted to be
Pep
at
told him
City.
that you share.
Pep,
But
Pep told
but
him
but
that you need to attack the space without the ball. The ball is going to arrive. But he had David Silva. I thought that game
you see,
needed
there we go.
Nuno. That game needed Nuno on that left
There we
side to
go.
support him,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Kovacic
That's what
to
we
support
need.
him
That's what
on
I'm
that
saying
left
because
side.
okay, you're perfect, Van. We don't have a fullback that's going to give you space on the overlap
Yeah,
behind you so that you can
Ake
cut
yeah.
in.
wasn't gonna
He
do
doesn't
that.
have
Yeah,
that.
Ake
We
wasn't
don't
gonna
have
do
that.
that.
Yeah, so the balance in the team then becomes a bit more different when he's on the pitch. Because when the ball goes to the left hand side, all of a sudden you're expecting something. No one's doing the underlap to try to get the ball because you don't have a left-footed centre mid. Because Foden wants to play right behind the striker, and in some games he's on the wing. So it does become a bit difficult. Which is when Bernardo came on, or when Bernardo started to be more involved as well. You could see that we're starting to make patterns because there's no longer that expectation with Magic. We have to make
Yeah.
something happen. It
What
just
do
makes it
you
so much difficult, I think, for City
on
because we don't have that fullback in Bradley, in Robertson, trying to
Yeah.
create space for Salah to come in and create those chances. So it's a bit difficult.
Foden? Just on Foden. How was his game? Because I've
I
been
think
watching him because
so.
there's conversations around because the Euros are around the corner, and there's conversations and arguments around who starts between him and Saka. Um,
Yeah, Foden shouldn't play on the wing. You don't need
Yes,
I
to
think
I
play
was
both
Foden
of
on
gonna
the
them
wing.
should
say.
but
start.
like that's the problem that they have in that the middle way you should be going that 10-8 row. Hey, it's packed with talent.
No, not really. Not in
It's who?
England.
It's Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice.
It's
That's
Jude
all.
Bellingham
That's the three
only.
that should be playing.
It's Jude Bellingham
Yeah,
only. It's supposed to be Foden, Bellingham, and Rice. That's it. There's no
Yeah.
one
yeah.
else.
It's not complicated.
It's
It's
not
really not
Yeah.
complicated.
complicated.
What's gonna happen is that they're gonna select Calvin Phillips, they're gonna select James Ward-Prowse, they're gonna select all of
Yeah.
these midfielders and load up their midfield with a flat three when they've got dynamic midfielders that can make things happen.
100.
For the way Bellingham plays, Foden is perfect because he can be a free 10. Bellingham can be box to box, and then Declan can sit. That's a balance you need in midfield.
But hold on, Jude is playing
I
as
agree
a
with Uncle.
full-on 10 at Madrid, right?
No,
Bellingham.
at Madrid he plays that
Yeah.
he plays that false nine. He's like a
Second striker, yeah,
Yes.
false nine.
Yeah,
That's like a
so
Yeah.
are we really going to take someone playing false nine and make him be a box-to-box midfielder?
Remember,
That's
I
He
kind
is a
of get
box
it
to
though,
box.
because
Yeah.
Foden
That's what he
can
actually
play
is.
that like, well, not deeper role, but like more central role where he's kind of like just a more advanced pivot who could then support Jude. Be well, I don't want to say.
Shiva, when you say we, are you speaking about Bafana?
Did I say we?
You kept saying we, so I don't know now if we have
Okay, I
access to Abu Foden.
didn't even know if
You
I
must say
said
they.
we,
You
but
must say they.
yeah.
We're not.
So
We're not
if
we don't
get
care
you-
what those
I
guys
get
do
your
anyway,
point, though.
because they're stupid. Because they're going
Look,
to be
your point.
stupid and they're going to mess it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
I get
they're
your
gonna
point,
get
though,
knocked
Shiva.
out in the first knockout round. But I don't know if that midfield three would work. I'd want someone next to Rice, but I don't know who that
Protecting him.
someone would be.
Yeah.
That's exactly who you want next to Rice.
Yeah, but who's
Right.
protecting Rice at Arsenal and he's doing well. Look, Bellingham was a 8, man. He was a box to box.
Exactly.
At
That's his
Madrid, he
level.
doesn't need to
been
do
an
it
8.
because they have Valverde. You have Valverde and
Yes.
already there. Why do I
Yes.
also need to go be a box to box? Let me go be. We're struggling with
Be a
actual
star.
strikers in Joselu. So
Yeah,
England mustn't be
Joselu.
stupid about it. They mustn't think they're
Yeah.
Real Madrid and they can go and make Bellingham
They have
a
Harry
second
Kane.
striker. They have
They
enough
have Harry
strikers.
Kane.
They don't need to worry about that.
Yes, they have Harry Kane. They have Harry Kane and Watkins. They don't need to worry about the striker position. Bellingham
Yeah.
can be a
They're
perfect
fine.
fold. It can be a perfect fold with late arrivals in the box as a proper number 8. He's shown that he can score goals. He can position himself in the box. All of those skills are important. He can still utilize them. He doesn't need to take up the same role he's at Madrid, because at Madrid they are loaded in midfield. Tchouameni, Camavinga,
Yeah.
and Fede Valverde. So they
Well,
don't need
Camavinga
him
was
in
playing.
midfield.
Camavinga was playing on the wing because
Yes, they
Yeah.
don't need him.
And left
Shiva's
back
not
even.
wrong, guys. Shiva, I think we got Shiva wrong. Shiva's saying this is how the English are going to view it, and he's 100% right. That's what the English
Yes,
are going to do
I
and
get
stuff
it.
it out.
Yeah.
I
So
get
I
it.
understand exactly where you're coming from,
Yeah,
Shiva. That's
the
why I think you
football
said we
perspective.
at the
So
first.
who then goes next to Declan Rice?
It's
It's
him.
Bellingham.
Bellingham.
So it's him and
What
Jude.
a, what about
They're twins.
what about John Stones?
No.
No, Johnston's
Nah.
playing centre back.
Let me
That's
Is he
explain.
playing centre back?
Yes, let
Yeah,
me
he has to play
explain
centre back.
why. Let me explain why it doesn't work with John Stones. At City, John Stones, the way that John Stones is utilized at City is never how they're going to utilize him in England. John Stones is a defender who inverts when City plays a certain way. So when they overload the left side, he pushes into that, just like Akanji was doing against us. He adds numbers to the right, so he creates balance. So Diaz basically sweeps from the back. Stone supports Rodri in the midfield. So when counters start, Rodri is not isolated because City is playing up, and then Ruben can sweep anything that's played over the top. So this is to make sure that City create that wall of 3. It's a wall of 3 with Walker and Ruben sweeping. The wall of 3 is Ake, Diaz, and Stones. But Stones has the freedom of going into the box because he can pass. He's also tall. City plays
And he's
crosses
also-
now. They didn't used to do that before. They play a lot of crosses now in their game. So he adds to height. So Pep is finding different ways to utilize him.
We're asking too much of Southgate.
That's
And it's
never
also
going to
very
happen
quick.
with Southgate. That's never
Yeah.
going to happen with Southgate. And John Stones is the best centre back they have. He
That's
is.
another.
He's the
That's
best
another.
centre-back
That's
That's
a
they have.
another player
shout.
to like.
Look.
Imagine you have Stones and Trent, all of them. They're up there. They're busy playing. Shiva, this is the real world. In those tournaments, it's the real world. It's
Here's
not.
another player to learn is raising.
It's no
That's
Pep
another
Guardiola.
player.
I think it might just be
His
early for him.
His stock price, his stock price is going up, James. I think the
Yeah,
earlier they
but
get him in the tournament, the better. I watched
Guys,
him
I
over
think
the week. I watched him yesterday. I'm not gonna lie.
no, he
That
is
boy
right,
is
but
smooth.
it's
guys,
early. Like
be
he'd
careful.
have like 6 months of football.
Be
Let's
careful
just
of
not
midfielders
do
that look
that to
good
him.
on the ball. Be careful of midfielders that look good only on the ball. Be careful of that, because what was happening in United midfield when they didn't have the ball? Wasn't
Yeah,
Luton playing through them?
they were. They were. That's what happens all the time, though.
So
That's
if
pretty much.
if
Yeah.
he's not resistant, he's not resistant to when they attack United.
Yeah.
Varane, Casemiro, they had to
Yeah.
do some heroic things in the game to stop
Heroic,
Luton sometimes.
heroic thing.
So
Heroic.
so so
Collecting
that
yellow cards.
so Kobe Menu must bench a guy who plays for Real Madrid and a guy who won the treble last season.
For Kobe
No,
Mine,
we're not saying.
Not
We just
benching,
playing. Jeez.
not
Jeez, come
Yo.
on.
benching.
Relax,
But
cheese.
Hey, Cheese is gonna kill
Yeah.
I
us,
think
and he's wearing a vest. He's a white beater today.
Yeah.
Yo.
I think
no,
look,
let the boy develop,
Kane will
guys.
be
Let the boy
left,
Yeah.
develop.
right, and Jude will play at the 10, and Saka will play right wing. I don't think anyone is arguing. I personally think Foden should be on the left, right? I think Foden's a better
No,
player than Grealish.
stop playing him as
Foden
a
can play
winger,
anywhere.
guys. Don't play him
Foden
as a
can play
winger.
anywhere.
But you can't put him at
Foden
10
is
because Jude's there.
no, guys. Why are you putting Jude at 10
Jude can.
for
Jude is an
England?
A. Oh, for A.
England,
Yeah.
18.
Jude's
If
incredible.
you want to, okay, look, Southgate's not going to go 4-3-3. Like, make your peace with that.
That's why
He
I'm
doesn't
saying
have
What is he
the.
gonna go? What is he
he's
gonna
gonna
do?
go for a two-man midfield.
He's going to go with the double pivot.
Exactly.
He might even go with the back five and a double pivot.
That's what nobody does. That's what nobody does. So where would you rather put Bellingham in the double pivot? Because he's never gonna play with a 10.
Yeah.
He's never gonna play with the 10. It's better to have Jude in the 8.
Hey, we ask me
But
Guys,
Shiva's
gonna
right,
advance
bro.
the ball.
It doesn't matter, right?
English
England's
coaches
not
are
going to win the
crazy.
Euros. So
Shiva's right.
let's move
They're
on.
never gonna use.
Yeah.
They're never gonna win. And it's one of those teams. Jose Mourinho was saying it, that you look at the talent of the English teams and you salivate at what you can actually create with those players.
100%.
Because of the talent level, not just technical but talent level. The amount you have to select from, those that are great within that you can actually elevate in the international game. But they have been horrible at selecting the coaches. They have been bad
Where
at choosing
have
coaches.
I heard this before?
With Bafana
Your
Bafana.
favorite coach, your favorite manager
Maybe
mentioned that.
I think I heard this about a team that also had too much talent to fail, that also had terrible coaches making terrible decisions around the mid 2000s. I wonder what team that was.
Real Madrid.
No, he's talking
England.
about his team.
Oh, England.
It's always been the
England.
case. It's
Yeah,
always been
England
the
is
case.
always the case. Yeah.
And the one thing that's guaranteed with England is that whenever in any major tournament, they always get the favorable draws in the group stages. I just quickly looked at their group right now.
Yeah, Shiva, let me
Slovenia,
remind you.
Denmark, and Serbia.
Remember in the 2000s, English media used to say the midfield of Gerrard and Lampard can't work, because to the English, they didn't know that Gerrard was an 8 and
Yeah.
Lampard played more as a 10. They looked at it as they are both 8s, so they are getting in each other's way. When Scholes was the 6, Gerrard was the 8. The exact thing we are describing right now, they are going to try to overthink it when it's very simple. You've got a player who is clearly supporting the striker. Gerrard played behind Drogba. He was supporting the striker. He only played 8 when Anelka came into the team. And later in the season, Anelka started to play on the left because Malouda was injured. So even that changed. Lampard has always played between the 10 and the 8.
More
But
advanced,
because he could play the 10, when it came to England, they wanted to play a flat 3 midfield all the time.
Flat
That's
4, you
never
mean?
gonna work.
4-4-2. They wanted to go
Balance.
4-4-2 with
Yeah,
Gerard Lampard
4-4-2.
as a double
Oh,
pivot and Scholes
Yeah,
left
no
wing.
balance. Zero
what was that?
balance, bro.
That's a flat 3 to me, because
Yeah,
one of the wingers is going to bomb forward. Beckham was going to bomb forward, so he makes it a front 3. The other 3 stay in midfield because they're not being told to move up. Their football never evolved. They were playing nonsense, and they kept recycling, changing coaches, but hiring English coaches. Then they put in Ericsson before the World Cup. Ericsson went to the World Cup. They lost on penalties. They were like, they should have never had a foreign manager. They went back to their strategy of putting back English managers. 1-0 still.
Didn't
yeah.
qualify for
They
Euros.
went,
But
yeah. Then they went to yeah.
I think they should have went with the midfield of Hargreaves, Scholes, and Gerrard, and then used Lampard as an impact sub. That's how
But
I would have done it.
Hargreaves was playing left back at the time.
Yeah.
Well, but why would
It's-
you play Hargreaves at left back when you've got
Because Sir Alex
the
played
best
him at
left back, one of the best left backs of all time?
Because Sir Alex played him at left back.
yeah.
Ah,
That's
no, but
because of Carrick.
this was
But that's
before
because
that.
of Carrick, though. Because Carrick was the CDM.
Yes.
I
This
would
was
have thought.
before he
I would
joined
have thought
United.
Carrick was. Yeah.
And
United
I-
United had a very crazy setup in their midfield because they had Anderson, Carrick, and O'Shea. So, and then who's this? Scholes was in
Darren
and out
Fletcher.
of the team. Darren Fletcher. Scholes was also in and out of the team. Those players were never like great players. You know, Anderson was a Brazilian, but Anderson was never like in a world-class Brazilian midfielder. They were, and Park as well. They were hard-working players.
I could argue that Park was a great player.
Oh, Park was a great player.
Yeah,
For Man United, I'm not saying these players were horrible. I'm not saying these players were not great. I'm saying the players were not. They were not Jude Bellingham. They were not. They were not in that strata of mid. They were not Kroos. They were not Modric.
they were in the Rashfords, like Rashford's kind of level.
Yes, but
Yeah.
because they were playing in a system that was simplistic, direct, and it was Sir Alex's tactics were not complicated. You know, they were talking about it last week to say they never actually did tactical training. They were told exactly, guys play with intensity, with speed, with pace, and if they fuck up,
Aggression, and we'll give you the time.
But that's
Yeah.
but that's why
focus.
that's actually partly why I think Sir Alex lost more often than not when he came up against Pep and Jose.
Yes,
Yes.
because they were technical coaches. Ancelotti as well. Whenever he
Yep.
had
Ancelotti,
technical
yeah.
savants, he would struggle because they could plan against the way he plays. And he never had a
Barcelona
counter.
versus Man United 2008.
Peleka
Barcelona picked you guys
Tsabo
apart.
Nkatsa so expecting
2008.
yeah. Leza
That was under
aqedanga isigele phela bose Ferguson. Lama coach wakudala waqedanga isigele baba. Uselection mase was draw couldn't draw on the board.
Sir Alex and bullied those
So
guys. Sir Alex
yeah,
bullied
he couldn't draw on the board. He couldn't communicate to foreign players. Just sweat them and stuff like that. So at that time, when real coaches started coming in, that kind of football was just terrible. I mean, the fact that guy's never got over 90 points, yeah, whatever,
with
ever in
all
his
that
career.
dominance. With all that
Cole
dominance.
Palmer in the conversation, the England squad conversation.
Yep.
Who?
Which one?
Cole Palmer.
Yeah,
Yeah, on the
but
bench.
where's he going to play? Yeah,
Bench.
he's part of the 23, but
He's gonna
not
get
in the
benched.
first team. Not in the first
Yeah,
team.
he's gonna
He's not
bench.
better than Phil Foden.
Oof, yeah.
Nah, so
yeah.
okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Guys,
Here we go.
okay,
See this is what I hate about City. That draw. Look at this guy. He's smiling the whole show, bro, for no reason. That time Ashley to pray missed open net
Don't
1-on-1.
take us there. Don't take us there. We are not.
Don't take us.
But he's smiling.
We are not there. We are not there. Don't
Yeah.
bring us home. This is
So wait, guys.
Yeah.
no, we're just
Wait.
looking forward to the next game and the
Wait,
game
guys.
after that.
So
That's all.
So does Rashford? Okay, wait. Where does Rashford feature in that squad that you're mentioning now? Because I'm trying to
starts
imagine it, and I don't
He
Bench.
starts on the
bench.
He
He
benches.
starts on the
Hey, on
left.
the left.
He starts on the
Guys,
left, Saka
we
on
are
the
talking
right.
about
No,
we
he
are talking
benches.
about we are talking about whose team again?
Okay, fair.
Southgate, bro.
fair.
All right. So
But he should
Rashford
bench.
starts on the left. He starts on the
You
left.
can even start
Kane in the
Sterling,
middle.
Baba. You don't know him.
Kane in the middle. Sterling is not even getting selected.
Sterling should get
Wait for he's resting him. You don't know Southgate when he's resting him for the tournament.
Calvin Phillips,
Watch
who
Harry
had a
Maguire
awful
pull up
start,
at centre back.
is definitely going
He
to
will.
Euros.
He will.
Definitely. Maguire's gonna be there.
He's captain. Because
And
I'm looking at
I
our
think Jones
forwards.
also
Honestly.
gets selected from Liverpool.
So I'm looking,
Liverpool.
He should be. He should be selected. He shouldn't start. Maybe he's an option that you could put next to Declan Rice. But
Over
actually,
what Prowse?
yeah, because he's a better footballer than Ward-Prowse.
Over Henderson.
Well, yes.
Henderson.
Henderson is the new Ajax
Whose
captain,
team?
by the way. Do you guys see
Whose
that?
team?
4 games in,
Whose
and he's
team
a
is
captain.
this?
I know.
So, yeah. Yes.
Whose
I
team
think
is
we're
this?
trying. We're the ones who are
Southgate
trying to be
team.
sane, okay? So we're saying those things shouldn't happen. We're
Jones
trying
is,
to be
Jones
the
is a good
sane
shout,
one.
actually. Jones is a good shout.
Jones,
So,
No, Jones will get
not
selected.
missing. Jones is
how
But
I
not
would line up
starting.
my midfield, it would
I
be
also
Rice and
I
Jones
also
as a double pivot, and then
Yeah,
Jude at
no.
10, and Saka and
Sure.
Foden on wide. That's
I fear
You
probably
saw
how I
the,
would
you saw
line
the
up.
rate that he got this weekend.
I fear
What's that?
Ethan Palmer's is going.
Ooh.
I'm
Wait,
being
here's
serious.
one. Who do you
The
guys think
youth
is better
players.
between Saka and Foden?
That's the argument
For
right
me,
now.
Foden. But they don't
It's
play the
Foden.
same like.
It's Foden.
They
He-
can play
I
the
have
same
to.
position, but they don't do the same role in that position.
Yes.
I also think
No,
Foden's better.
Saka can't play anywhere else except right wing, bro. That
It's
Saka
left
can play
back
left back.
when he was playing when he was young. Yeah, when he was young, that left back is the only way to get him some first team experience. But
And they were losing
no
anyway.
way, bro. No way that
When he
guy
was left back,
plays.
they
No
were
way that guy
losing.
plays
You can't
any other
really say
position.
he can play
Are
left back
we-
because he played when they were losing, when he was playing.
I mean, you could say the same thing with Jude. You can't say he can play 8 because he played 8 previously.
No, but
When was the last
Jackie,
time
Jude-
Jude
Jude
played?
is-
Excelled in
what?
eight.
But Saka's not a left back, bro. Even for the juniors, he never played left back. He only started. They tried him into the first team to play left back at Arsenal because they didn't have anything, and they were
And
shit
since
anyway
he
that time.
played- and
So
since
guys-
he
But
played
Saka's
false
always
nine
been a right
now,
wing, my brother. From junior levels, right wing.
So
That was
wait,
his trademark. That
this
cuts
is-
in and
these are all the
first,
forwards
yeah?
that England has, right? You've got Bowen, Foden, Grealish, Kane, Rashford, Saka, Watkins.
It's
Okay,
Saka,
Watkins-
Kane.
so let's start with the right. We need to select two. Saka is
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we
Yeah.
counting Foden as?
Then we have to count him
As
as
an
right
eight.
winger.
Then
There's
it's
no
Saka and
eight.
Foden
We
as
don't
our right
have to.
wingers. Then Saka and
So we
Foden
don't
are
have
our
to
right
because
wingers. And
you know why you don't have to? Because there's also Olise who has a shout in the team. And if he continues with his form, he makes a shout for that England team as well.
He's never gonna play.
Well, obviously because
It's going to be like
obviously
Sancho.
because I think
Isn't he from France?
because-
Olise?
no, but in general,
But I think
these
he's
guys
converting
no.
to thingy.
Oh, it's too tough in France to get in.
but I mean,
He will
for
never
me,
play.
like, look, they don't have to complicate this whole England thing. You know? It's straightforward. Like I feel like some teams pick themselves.
No.
What?
So he's not making the team.
No, Greenwood is not making the team. Is Conor Gallagher making the team?
He's not making the team.
Okay.
But
I am
who's
actually
but who's
afraid
team?
that
Whose team?
Southgate
Okay,
might take
whose
Gallagher.
team?
Gallagher might make the team, by the way.
Whose
Yeah.
team?
Whose
Gonja,
Guys,
team, guys?
are you for real?
okay.
Whose team?
Southgate's taking corner,
They
bro.
were not.
Easy.
Southgate's with the
The
soccer
reason he's taking corner is because he can't take Scott McTominay. That guy will be Southgate's first name on the team sheet.
You also have to look at how he selects. Southgate
Yeah.
looks at players very simplistically. He looks at strikers, wingers, midfielders. That's how he selects. There's no number 10. No. Strikers, wingers, midfielders. So Foden is a winger in the England team. Palmer would be a winger in the England team, even though I argue that he's not a winger.
He's
very similar to Foden.
that invisible player, 10, 8.
He's a 10. He's
He's
as
a
10
10.
as you want a 10 to be. He's exactly what a 10 should be. He reminds me so much, and maybe it's my left foot bias. He reminds me so much of Mesut Ozil. His subtle touches, his very nonchalant style of play. It looks like
Amashi Bobo.
You know those light Shibobos as Shayai. Like he's like Ozil, a proper 10. Foden, a 10. But there are no such things in the England team. So Foden is a right winger. And if he's only taking 2 right wingers, that's Foden and Saka.
And Foden.
So we go to the left. Who's he taking on the left? That's Rashford.
And Watkins.
Grealish.
And Grealish.
Yeah.
When was he just over Puza?
He's injured. I'm not sure if he's gonna make it for the Euro. His injury seemed quite serious.
Yeah, and the Euros. Remember, the Euros are in like what? How many months?
Like 4 months.
No, he'll be fine. It's not a hectic injury.
Oh,
maybe
okay.
2 weeks. 3 weeks.
It's him and Grealish. It's Rashford and Grealish. And then forwards, it's Watkins and Kane.
Bowen doesn't make it.
Solanke, Baba.
No, he's a right.
Oh, that's another player. That's another player whose stock price is on the up.
Those 3, it's Watkins, Solanke, and Kane.
That's the thing. Yes, Solanke as well. The thing is, it's either he.
But if it's going to be a 23-man squad, right? And Southgate is not going to take an extra forward. He's going to take a third goalkeeper.
Yes.
Like, let's be honest with ourselves.
You know it very well.
Guys, this is Southgate. In fact, he's going to take an extra defender even. Because
I think he'll have a choice. He'll have a choice between an extra defender and the extra... Well, he'll have a choice between an extra right back and a third goalkeeper.
Of course.
And I think he'll take a third goalkeeper.
An extra
I know an extra right back. He'll take both.
Yeah.
Because one of the right backs he'll make them play left back.
But you know why? He always takes an extra right back because he has to select Trippier, he has to select Trent, he has to select Walker. So he's gonna select all 3 of them. And then play Trippier at left back.
The player that I feel for is Rico Lewis. I feel for Rico Lewis in the back there. Because I think he's a bench
player. He's a bench player.
I'm talking about
Are you drinking?
It's water.
He first said Ollie Watkins left wing. Didn't I see him? I'm going to replay this show later. I'm gonna replay this show and I'm gonna record this guy. I don't know what he's drinking there, but it's not water.
Okay, and then your midfield. So you've got 3 midfielders.
Now
so
we told you our midfield, Shiva. Don't rock the boat. We told you our midfield. Now you wanna come and rock the boat to say Rice, Jude, Foden.
No, but we counted
And
Foden
then
as a right
obviously-
winger. So then who are
Okay, so
Foden is a winger.
So Rice,
So the midfield
Rice,
is a 2-man
Jude.
midfield.
Yeah,
So it's
Rice,
Jude
Jude.
as our starters, and then who
Jones,
ends them up?
Jones,
Jones.
This
Jones.
one is Kobe Mino.
Curtis Jones.
It's going to be
I think
Henderson.
Curtis will go.
It's going to be
Guys,
Henderson and Ward-Prowse.
This is Southgate we're talking about. He might
It's
take
gonna
Eric
be
Dyer
Henderson
and play
and
him at
Ward-Prowse.
defensive midfield again.
Ward-Prowse.
No, but
is
Jones, he's gonna take Jones.
specialist.
I think he'll take Jones. Jones
Okay,
deserves to go.
that's 5 right backs now. But Ward Prowse can also play right back. I don't think Ward Prowse is gonna make it.
Anyway, guys, let's forget about England now. Let's talk about what we wanted to talk about. Where's X? It's gone.
Can I share my screen? Yeah.
Yeah, hey, you couldn't wait.
I know you guys are my guests. I gotta let you guys speak, and
No, but Thingy did say that United will start to play
Ooh.
well when all the first team
Why you
players
gotta
come
do me
back.
like this?
Hey, I saw this. This is
1,
crazy.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
yep,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Have I not been saying since the start of the season that City were gonna go on a 14-game run? And here's 14 games. There's your run.
Hey,
Congratulations.
Reg, are you
counting
seeing? Are you
yourself?
seeing the matches?
Are
Are
you
you seeing the
counting
matches that
yourself
they've
in that
got?
run?
Guys, don't do this. We know what's gonna happen.
No,
Are you
Shiva.
accepting
Hey,
the
What's gonna
L?
happen.
Shiva,
We know what's
Shiva,
gonna
you
happen.
have to. Shiva, the position you are in right now is you have to win all your games to win the league.
yeah.
Yep,
you've got a better run in than City.
we do. We do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We have a better run in.
So I don't
City have got to
understand.
come to
Wait,
Anfield,
wait,
but
wait.
we also have the
Wait,
injuries.
wait.
And City, guys, just
Well,
look. It's better
City
for
is
your
third.
mental health, right?
Why is City being spoken about in this conversation? City is third. It should be Arsenal who you're being afraid of.
No.
They'll
We
do their
know.
thing.
We
Don't
know that
worry.
elephant is gonna fall off the tree. Let's just put them one side, right? And
Yeah.
we've seen this enough times now. It's better for your mental health. Just make your peace with it. City are
I
gonna win
think
the
I
league.
think the one
Let me
stumbling
tell you.
block
Let me.
for Arsenal. Hold on. The one stumbling block for Arsenal is if they go into a game and don't score a goal. Okay, they will then start panicking because they've been pounding those goals in like it's going out of fashion. So if they go into like Newcastle or Sheffield and don't score a goal, they do this wilting thing of feeling sorry for themselves. Okay. By the time they meet Chelsea, okay, fine, they can't beat Chelsea. They go to City, that's gonna be a cracker. From then on, Brighton is not an easy one.
Yeah.
So if Arsenal don't score in a game and they don't panic, they might just sneak it in. But we
But
know
they,
them.
but
Let,
they
let me
also
ask you
come
this
to
So
question.
they
when
also
Okay,
coming to Old
let me ask
Trafford
you this
though, and they
question.
haven't won at Old Trafford for the longest time, bruh. We usually beat Arsenal at Old Trafford.
And Spurs away is also
so the
tough.
problem
Let me put it this way,
the
right?
problem
We've
with
spoken
City,
about
right?
United away, we've spoken about Tottenham away, and we've spoken about City away. What's the bet? Arsenal drop points, Luton at home, and Bournemouth at home. What's the bet? Those are two games where they drop points
Yeah,
because we know
that's a
they're
fair.
Nah, they
capable.
won't.
Yeah.
We
Nah,
know they
this
could
season they
they
won't,
could
right?
go and beat Spurs away and then come back the next game and lose to Bournemouth at home.
Nah, not this
It's
season.
just
Not
this
this
is
season.
Arsenal.
They they have a solid squad now, and last season it was because they lost their defensive partnership. So,
They
but for City,
no
right?
it, last
In all
season
of
it
these
was
games
because they
here, right?
lost their heads at Anfield. That they came to Anfield, they were 2-0 up and they drew 2-2. They lost their heads
Yeah.
at Anfield,
Now,
right?
but
And then it just
when they
carried with
lost,
them through the rest of the season. And
If they
when
lose,
they
if
lost
they
Saliba,
lose,
same
when they
thing's
lost
gonna happen again.
Shiva, when they lost Saliba, it was big. It's the same thing as if you guys lost Van Dijk now. You guys lost Van Dijk now. You
it's the
guys
same
can
thing that
already
if
kiss
they
the
were to
league
lose
goodbye.
Testic, if
If they
Arsenal
lose
were to lose
Saliba,
Testic,
they
they'll
also
be
have
in
that same
trouble.
problem, right? But for City, right, regardless of the games between Liverpool and Arsenal, right? In here, there's at least four of our bogey teams, right? We have
Yeah.
Crystal Palace,
Spurs,
we have Tottenham, we have Wolves, all of them in there in those games. And we have Aston Villa now. The four teams in there that City always somehow banana slips, right? So in order for us to win the league this season, are going to be bigger than Liverpool, Arsenal, and I think for me, those ones are going to count the most points. Can go and draw against Liverpool because they're right next to us. For them, it means 1 point, 1 point. It doesn't change too much. But those games are going to be the ones that create a problem.
back
But
to Arsenal. I was saying, if they lose Declan Rice, they are in trouble.
Agreed.
Because I don't see a player that can replace Declan Rice on their bench right now.
They have Jorginho. Jorginho came in and did a decent job.
yeah,
For me, they
I
lose.
don't.
It's the centre
I
back
think
pairings, my brother.
yeah, I think also there's a slight overrating of Declan Rice, especially when they're playing against teams that defend, where he can be a passenger between the attack and the defense, and all he does is recycle balls. Like I watched on Saturday. That's basically all he did. Just recycle balls and give them to attackers. Jorginho does that better than anyone else. So he's not been asked to create. He's not really destroying because teams just counter attack against them. So most defensive midfielders can do that. Arsenal's got Jorginho, they'll be fine. And I think Partey will be fit before the end of the season. Anyway, he keeps having setbacks, but he probably will be fit before the end of the season. He's much better because he's a goal threat as well. He pushes forward, he creates all of that. And his passing range is much better as well. I think Arsenal right now have hit their sweet spot, the one that they hit last season, where they don't need a striker. Their wingers are scoring, the midfielders are scoring, so they're just flying at this point in time. Once they started to dry up, the wingers started to struggle to score goals. That's when they started to struggle. The problem with wingers is they'll never have enough consistency to continue to score unless they are Mohamed Salah. There's not a lot of wingers like that in the league. So
look at Shivar smirking like a proud father in the background.
But he knows what I'm saying.
I was gonna say, excuse me, before you added that last sentence. So yeah, continue.
Yeah, no, he's the only one that can do that. Most Premier League wingers can blank for 4 games, have a 5-game run where they're scoring goals, and everyone thinks, we'll get there through the wingers. Saka can have a 4-game slip right now. Just in
7
game, can have a 4-game skid where he's not scoring goals. And when he's not scoring goals, he's not creating, because that's not what he does. When he's not scoring, he's not creating. And if he's not creating, there's nothing to create for as well, because they're not using a 9. Kai Havertz basically plays as an extra midfielder who's also a winger.
Who ends up front because
he does everything. Yeah, and then Trossard also plays within that confusion of it, which is working great right now. Odegaard is also scoring. Odegaard had a huge skid of not scoring or creating for a while. I even started to hate him on
That's his first goal in 10 games or something.
Yes,
I think it's his first goal in 10 games.
On fantasy, because that's what happens to wingers. I was talking about Leao and Sane last week to say Leao before last week hadn't scored in like 17 games. Sane hasn't scored in 17 games as well, because that's what happens to wingers. They're not really natural goal scorers. So if they don't have their creative things going and the goals are not coming, it's a problem. That's why you can't depend on them to score for you to win a league title. You need a 9. Liverpool had Firmino, they had Mane, they had Salah, they had goal scoring in 3 positions. Right now, they've got Nunes, who scores. Jota unfortunately got injured at the worst time because I think he's a better option than Nunes.
Can we take a moment to appreciate Darwin's chip?
Yeah.
No, Darwin is Shiva. Please appreciate me. I said at the start of the season, you need to bench that guy, that Dutch guy.
You called it. You called it. You called it.
You have to play your number 9. You can't be playing with that guy, with Gakpo. You need to play your number 9.
The problem is Shiva doesn't like Mionke. I told him when they signed him, this guy.
No, I like Darwin. I really like Darwin.
Gakpo guy.
Gakpo. About Gakpo.
I mean, I like Gakpo as well.
But he's not Nunes.
Okay,
Nunes,
of the 5, I think Gakpo's the least good of the 5.
He's the worst.
He's not a bad player.
He's the worst. No way. That guy should be playing at Fulham.
Let me put it this way. Okay, cheers, except for your team.
Should be playing with Munoz.
Gakpo improves every other team in the league aside from City.
Yeah, no, you see, now he's starting.
He doesn't improve Chelsea.
Dude, I improve Chelsea.
Shiva,
what's Gakpo?
I haven't ran in about 10 years. I improve Chelsea.
What's Gakpo's position? Shiva, what is Gakpo's position?
He is a false 9.
He's
left winger.
He's a left winger. He's always played left wing.
So they actually asked him this question.
Some breaking news. Swallows and
Mbappe's
coach have separated.
Oh,
Well, we don't
Swallows.
care. It swallows. We
It's
don't care.
Swallows. We don't
Oh,
care. But
wasn't the coach part of the half of the squad that was fired before? What was he still staying
yeah,
there for?
Like, why
he
would we
was.
What
care?
was
It
it?
swallows.
Well, why would you lose? Why would you lose 12 of your 24 players and still stay as a coach? You supposed to follow them when they leave. Now you must
Why
take your
did the
teams
coach
and
stay?
follow them.
The coach was a
So,
traitor. He should have left with his
hey,
players.
Yeah.
oh,
No, I think what has happened is Klopp thought I can play Gakpo while I allow Darwin to ease into his role. There was a lot of pressure that came with the price tag last season, and he's had to shake it off. He's shaking it off now. No one even talks about his price tag anymore. He really is that guy. He's very, very good.
Nunes.
Yeah.
So
It's all
he
about
actually
Nunes.
doesn't have the worst XG in the league. He's not even
No,
top
Yes.
five
that
for.
should be our player, Nico. It's definitely
Yeah.
Jackson.
So the
Yeah.
player with the worst XG to conversion ratio is not even Nico Williams.
It's
I
Holland.
was watching one of those YouTube shorts, and you will actually be surprised by who it is.
Who is it?
Haaland.
It's Holland.
It's not Haaland. It's not
Rashford.
Haaland. It's Gabriel Jesus.
Oh yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense actually.
yes.
Yeah, it does make sense.
That does make sense.
Makes
He's
sense.
the reason Arsenal are playing well. When Jesus went down, guys, and Trossard came in to fill that space, Arsenal started scoring goals.
Yep. And that's a
I
fact.
know. Trossard has an eye for goal. He's a good player.
Yeah, no,
I
but
told
but
you weeks ago
player.
that Trossard over Kai Havertz any day. He's
yeah,
a much
Trossard
better
is a
option.
baller.
Much better option. I don't know why
So
Arteta's
it's
been
so it's-
hesitant.
so Chelsea has the right.
I think it's
blueprint,
because he
man.
can't play that
Buying
role for 90
Brighton players.
minutes.
But all the Brighton players are serious signings, bro. Serious signings.
Yeah.
They've
We're in for that
they've,
striker.
they've
That
improved quite a
striker
lot of
players. I
stuff.
forgot that kid. What's his name?
Which striker now?
Brighton striker. I forgot his name
Evan
now.
Ferguson.
Ferguson, yes.
No, the
Yeah.
Not
Magnani.
Yeah, that guy. That guy's
Magnani.
going.
Don't let that English hype
He's
what
not
what
English.
thing
He's
get
not
you.
English. He's not English.
Yeah.
No,
He's
I'm
not
just saying
English.
that UK. Don't let that
Irish.
UK hype. Don't let that United
that
Kingdom
kid-
hype.
Nah, it's
Guys,
he doesn't score
guys,
tap-ins.
guys.
He scores.
Oh,
He doesn't
This
score
guy's a goal
tap-ins.
scorer.
Shots
okay,
fired.
He's
Okay.
not. Yeah. He's
okay.
look. He
Okay.
might not end up being Erling Haaland, but he will have a very decent Premier League career.
Very much so.
We've seen lots.
Let's allow
My
him
brother,
to
we've
have a
seen lots
season
of.
like
I've seen
Solanke.
in England.
allow
We've seen
him to
lots
have a
of
season
players
like
like that guy,
Solanke.
bro. Yeah, bro. We've
Let's
seen.
allow
Remember
him to
Jay
have a season.
Rodriguez? When they were shoving Jay Rodriguez
Nah.
down our throats. Jay
Nah.
Rodriguez. We're going
Ricky
to score this
Lambert.
thing.
I never bought Jay
Bro,
Rodriguez. Never
We've
bought Jay Rodriguez.
seen many English strikers who come in and they score because they come off the bench and they score every single time when the team is winning.
Ricky
And
Lambert.
now all of a sudden,
Shiva's team bought
so,
Ricky Lambert.
Shiva bought him. Yeah, they buy Evan
And
Ferguson
even-
and Ron. They'll see
Like,
bumps.
English hype doesn't work. Let's allow
He's not
him to have a
English.
Watkins.
He's not
Let's
English.
allow him. Yeah, no, but UK hype.
UK.
Let's allow him to have Watkins type season, a Solanke type season, where because he started the season well, got injured, and then fell off. Let's not focus too much on players like that. They need to prove themselves worthy of the hype. You can't just hype a player for scoring 4 goals. Like, we need to calm down sometimes. We need to force these players to prove, especially strikers, guys, because when they get to big teams, if they don't score for 6 games, they are a flop.
Right. Bench. Yeah.
Look at our
Pellet
striker.
City, man. We wanted to get Umitoma.
Listen to this.
So
Listen to this. crowd fight
Andy
again.
Carroll, another one. Yeah, bro. Chris was right.
I
And,
still
and
think-
Shiva tends to forget. That all of these guys end up going to Liverpool. But that's
They
beside the
do.
point. Because
And
Look,
Klopp is
I-
leaving. Klopp is leaving.
I don't.
Ferguson is going to
Yeah.
Liverpool.
yeah, bro.
We've
Who
got
was the
enough in
other
our
guy?
attack. We don't
Who
need
was the
another
other
So
leg
attacker.
player, that leg striker?
we wanted
at Stoke.
Crouch.
Peter Crouch.
Peter Crouch.
Nah, he was
Imagine,
decent.
fam.
He was
No,
good.
Crouch was decent.
Imagine.
Crouch
Aye,
was
man,
decent.
man. It was
No,
alright.
Crouch was decent. For Liverpool, he was decent. For where they were.
Yeah, but that's because Liverpool was shit, Ndwana.
Yes, for where
It's
they
like
were. I'm saying.
it's like
I'm
when a
saying
team is like
He kind of got us to a Champions League final.
No. he
yeah, well, it
didn't.
doesn't make you not shit, bro.
Yep.
Havertz got there, he won it as well. Still a shit player.
Got
So
us to a
those sort of
Champions League.
things.
And that was our third final in 2 years. I mean, sorry, our second final in 3 years. Third final in 2 years. I'm drinking what Sichle is drinking. It was our second final in 3 years.
But I mean, if City got Mitoma instead of Doku, that would have been impressive. But I mean,
You know,
they
I'm
Pep
worried.
City will never outpay like they were asking something
Bro,
like 70 mil
I'm
for
worried
Mitoma.
because City
Don't
is
say
interested in
that.
him.
Don't say that. You've got
I want
110
Mitoma,
charges. Don't. You've got 110 charges waiting for you. It's 115 charges.
You
So
can't
don't say you
forget
don't
about the other
overpay.
5. No. It's not that they
Current
overpay.
stories.
It's just that they pay consistently.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
And brown
So
envelopes.
that's why.
Brown envelopes is their money.
Brown envelopes.
So I mean,
yeah.
we got our second choice on that list, which was Doku, which is okay, but it would be nice to have Mitoma. I think Mitoma at City would be incredible. I think he's a
Hey,
wizard on the ball, and
you
he's
guys saw that
Expertly
much more
dodge those
simple.
allegations. Expertly dodge those
Huh?
allegations. Just like
No,
your lawyer.
no,
Expertly
we have
dodge.
a lot. We have a lot team. I mean, I'm not here for that. You have bigger problems that you want. You think Gakpo is a left wing / second striker. Those are bigger problems than 115 charges.
Personally,
So
I'd rather have Gakpo than 115 charges. Personally.
Yeah.
it's
And you know the date has been set,
it's
right? By
fine.
the way.
Gakpo 115 charges get you trebles, Baba. Not.
Yeah, guys, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. This is just a question. I don't think that I'm pushing Man United narrative now. I just wanted to ask you guys.
I'm Man United back.
Cool.
Wait, no. Like, what's your guys' take on Hoyland? Do you think there's a player in there?
I
Do you
always
think-
thought there was a player in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
just
I've said it
asking
on here
striker there.
before,
curiosity.
There's a
right?
striker
There's a striker
There's
there.
an
He
inbox
was just
player
not
there.
getting the service.
Yeah, there's an inbox player there.
Yeah.
That's what he is. He's not your guy who's going to connect play and all of that. Not gonna play on the half turn. He needs a team that dominates the ball in the final third, that is going to be able to deliver the
Could play
ball
on the half turn.
to him. No, he can't. He's tried to. He can't.
Look, the reason why I say that is because how old is he?
He's 20.
20.
21,
And he does-
21, somewhere there.
21,
he
he
does
just
have
turned
he
21.
does have the pace. He just needs to develop that thinking, and you will get that as you get older. So I think
The one thing-
he could play on the half turn.
There's a technical.
The one
there's a
thing I'm
technical
liking about him
competence.
right now is
There's
that
a
he
technical-
can score literally with anything. He can hit the ball. He can score with his left. He can score with his right. He can score with his chest. So there's a striker there. He's one striker that I wish I had, like that type of striker in my team.
He's also willing though. Like even when he wasn't getting service, he never complained or fussed about everything. He still made the runs. He still got into position. He
Yeah,
still tried everything he could. So I like him. I like him.
I need Sike to rethink what he's saying. We had a box striker in Armando Broja. The problem at Chelsea is that we do not play in the box. We need a striker that's mobile, that is connecting play like Jackson does, but can also arrive in the box to score goals. That's what we need. That's why we ended up playing.
You need Darwin
Palmer
Núñez.
as a false. Yes, that's why we ended up playing Palmer as a false nine, because Palmer basically connects play, can play on the half turn, can beat his man, and can also arrive in the box and make those runs. You essentially, a player like Hoyland is problematic to teams like Man United and Chelsea, teams that hardly can retain possession long enough, or are dynamic in midfield where they are breaking lines and creating. That's not how United plays. That's not how Chelsea plays. We play on the counter. On the counter, you need a striker that is able to work on the half turn. You see, Jackson can play on the half turn. He has those small touches. This is why I was saying to Shiva, playing on the half turn is a very technical skill. You need to have a bit of flair to be able to do that because you need to time those things. A player will show you if they've got that technical flair. I feel like he's a Scandinavian player. He's going to be more like a Haaland, great in box, can go into the box and score. Less like a Kane, who can function in the half spaces, can function as a 10, can also arrive in the box and score and be a proper 9. He's more likely going to be developed as a box 9, which is not wrong. The team needs to play for his strengths.
100%.
Just like City plays for Haaland's strengths. City is not forcing Haaland to fetch the ball in midfield. He will do it because he likes to work.
Still refuses to pass the kid.
Yeah, but you know what's the problem? It also goes down to the coaching. I mean, you need to tell your players that they need to follow set instructions. I just feel like
I don't think Rashford is capable though of having a different kind of game. I think he has his game. He's very good at his game, but he can't do anything else.
It's not only Rashford though.
They've got that conundrum with Højlund and Rashford. Notice that once Højlund starts scoring, Rashford stops scoring. Because the way Rashford plays does not match up well with Højlund's game. In order for Højlund's game to function, Rashford needs to change his. Either become a typical winger who's going to deliver balls into the box, or he needs to be able to play through the lines, passing, moving, and all of that in order to supply the striker. So it's like you are having to re-coach Rashford in order for your 9 to benefit. Otherwise, the 9 is not. The whole season they've been getting this wrong because Rashford will try to score.
And it's not only Rashford, even
Anthony and Garnacho.
Yes. Garnacho as well, bro. These guys are greedy.
But I can forgive Garnacho because he's how old is he?
No, Shiva. No. Let's not use
it's instructions.
Nah, it's instructions. Let's stop using this age thing, bro. I won't allow you to use this.
No,
age thing.
he's gonna grow and develop as a footballer. Okay.
If you get arrested, he goes into the same cell that you would go into
as Rashford.
You know, exactly.
He's an adult.
He's an adult. Guys, let's stop this thing, bro.
Yes, but he is an adult. But what were you like at 18 and 19?
So Shiva, you telling me? So Shiva, you telling me that? So you're telling me that the difference between what Alejandro Garnacho is doing and what Conor Bradley is doing for Liverpool are the same?
Thank you. Cheese.
Thank you,
Cheese. Thank you, Cheese.
I mean, there is a difference though, because this is not Conor Bradley's first season as a first-team player.
Garnacho
but this is Garnacho's first season as a first-team player.
Last season.
Last season, he was
he was in and out, but he wasn't a first-team player.
Conor Bradley was also in and out. What do you mean?
Conor Bradley got player of the season at Blackburn last year.
Shiva.
Wait, no. Are you talking about Blackburn?
So you're telling us about championship? All the championship teams are now
in the Premier League.
You've got to play. You've got to play.
You've
got to play first team football to learn your trade when you are at that age.
Garnacho
right?
My brother, Blackburn with that player of the season are still in the first division. All of that player of the season.
But he was a first team player. Yes, I know that, right?
Garnacho was playing with Cristiano Ronaldo on his team.
Was he?
Even asked him to do the celebration, bro.
Yes.
Bro. He played. That kid played.
I think you guys are being a bit harsh on someone who is 19.
No, bro.
Okay, look at this.
So you've changed the context. You've changed the context of being 18 now to having the context of saying that a guy must now play in the first team. When your discussion was never having a guy having played in the first team.
Right? Let me ask this question. How good was Raheem Sterling at 19? He was clearly a good player, but there were so many holes in his game. And then at City, at 24, 25, what did he turn into? Right? So Garnacho can still add things to his game.
That's
not
okay. That's
over
okay. But
and done
Sterling
with
was
at
coached.
19.
But Sterling was coached
Yeah, we're
And
differently.
agreeing with
that's
you,
what
Stefan.
needs
We
to
agree with
happen
you.
with
Sterling was
Garnacho.
coached
He needs to
differently.
be coached.
We are saying Garnacho needs to be coached differently. We're not saying
Yep.
he's not capable. He's a winger.
Okay, yes.
A winger
Then
is
I
supposed to
can agree
know
with you.
how to deliver a ball into the box. Those are
And
basics of being a winger. He's a
dude,
winger. He knows this, but he's being coached to be direct instead of to be a supplier. He's supposed to
dude,
be coached to supply the ball into the box. Right now, he's playing on the right, on his
mm,
And
stronger
who do you
foot. His
blame?
stronger
Who do you
foot is
blame
the
for that?
one that it's the coach. I said you need
the
to coach him
coach, bro.
differently.
And
You
as
need
well,
to
he doesn't
coach
even
him
bench.
differently.
And another thing is, Onke, there's no sort of incentive, bro. Like these guys will start anyway, even though they're putting up 0 out of 10s, they will still
Yes,
start every single game. There's no repercussions. And our
there's
technical players are all on the bench, bruh. Every single technical player for United is sitting on the bench, bruh.
there's a video of Rashford
Nah.
pressing late
Yeah,
in the game yesterday, and he
He was
yeah,
basically gets
pressing. He was pressing the ex Chelsea player.
yes Ross Barkley.
Yeah.
Basically, Ross Barkley just ran around him. He's
Mm.
pressing him.
circles.
He's literally 2 meters from Ross Barkley. He's not making an attempt to create pressure at all, but he's pressing him. And that's what you create when you don't coach effort, you don't coach intensity. You
Yeah,
basically are pandering to the players. That's the
There's a
problem with
difference
those
though,
types of
right?
coaches.
Like if Garnacho does that, I can say it's coaching and he needs to learn and he will learn, etc., etc., etc. If Rashford does that, I would say it doesn't matter who your coach is, you need to be better, right? And that's
No,
because
no,
Rashford
no, no,
is
no,
an
no.
experienced player.
In Zulu Shiba, we say ligotsho lisesemanzi. You
What does
you
that mean?
you bend when they build thatch houses, you bend that's the
You bend
thatch
the
while
stick
it's still wet.
while it's still young,
well, it's
as
still,
in while it's
well, it's
still while it's
Yeah, you
still.
bend the thatch while it's
Oh, okay.
wet, right?
you don't
Because
wait for it
as
to
soon as it goes
grow.
hard, what happens? It goes it breaks, right? Because you can't bend it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So it's easier to go and coach someone at that age to say,
yeah,
can
yeah,
you see what Rashford's doing? I don't want you to do that. I want you to
yeah.
do this
yeah.
and this and this, right? So
And
you want
then you
Rashford to
have to
lead by
also
example.
And then you have to also de-incentivize Rashford for what he's doing so that you show
Thank
him
you.
that this is what I expect. So, for example, Anthony presses. He's a hard worker. I
No,
would
he
rather
is.
give
He
him
is.
that space and then say, that's what I'm going to incentivize. If you're not putting in that work, I'm going to play the young guys because they are willing to do the work and they will follow instructions. So you're not breeding this idea that you can just coast in this team because you are
Yeah,
whoever you are. Rashford coasts
Yeah.
for United because he was
yeah.
pandered to. They fired
Same thing.
coaches on behalf of those players.
You
Same
know
thing with
what's another good
Bruno.
example on Kempan? Another good example is the fact of look at Connor Bradley for you guys or Bradley or otherwise. He's I think what they do in coaching, he can see the flaws of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Defensively, when that kid is playing, you guys look solid in the back four. Everyone looks comfortable. He's very good on the ball, and he doesn't try to expose himself by getting too high up the pitch if the game doesn't allow him. And that's coaching. Pep went
Yeah,
Klopp would have told him this is the problem or this is the weakness that Alexander Arnold has or this is where you can improve better than Alexander Arnold. And when that kid plays, don't tell me you even think of Trent or remember him
don't
because whatever he does
I
on the
do
pitch,
think of Trent.
he's near
lies,
he's near
lies,
the kid. The
bro.
kid is near perfect, bro, and he's like
Shiva,
18.
have you also
Imagine
seen
how
his
that guy
overlap
is going to
when he
be.
does
No,
overlap his
Bradley's a bit
He's going
deliveries?
older.
to he's going to be better than Trent.
His deliveries when he
He's
overlaps as
already
well.
about 20, I think. Conor Bradley. I
Nah,
don't think
he's
he's 18.
18,
His
bro.
deliveries when he
Nah.
overlaps, they are just as good as Trent. His
But
crosses when he
back
overlaps,
to Rashford,
just as good as Trent.
I foresee
I'm a
problems for him.
1-2. He's so smart, in fact.
Very,
He's so
very
smart.
smart.
Passing to the
Yeah.
striker,
Conor
receiving the
Bradley
ball.
is 20. He's going to be
He's 20.
21 in July.
Yeah,
He is a little
And
bit
he's
older.
been
Coaching, my
he's
brother.
been receiving
We'll even take
coaching
you to Rico
this year.
Lewis. We'll even take you to Rico Lewis.
Mm.
Coach.
Rico Lewis. How they coached that into him. Rico Lewis didn't come and think that he can be a right back, they can outplay in the center mid and so forth. Oh, here's your brothers. It's gonna be a long show.
I feel like he's about to drop something. Oh,
I knew
Oh
it.
my word! Oh,
So this is
see,
turning into the Manu show.
this is why you don't get invited so often.
This is the Manu. It's become the Manu show. Literally every third comment
dude!
is about Manu.
And you'll never see these United fans saying they want to be on the panel when we have the full
Yeah.
panel. They want to be in the comments. They are happy to be in the
Yeah.
comments. Never on the
Yeah.
panel.
They don't want to
Guys,
be on the panel.
I honestly, Mainu looks good at United. Okay, I think he's a good player, right? But he looks good at United now, like how Bajcetic looked good at Liverpool last season. It's the
Oh,
same.
wait. Bajcetic is incredible, my brother. Bajcetic.
Shiva, for a Liverpool fan,
Bajcetic.
I didn't expect that.
Why?
Bajcetic.
It's the same.
Because Bajcetic is basically what you have in McAllister this season. The only thing that you guys didn't have was a destroyer to pair with him. He is an incredible player.
Yes,
Yo, Bajcetic
but
is incredible.
he looked better. I mean, okay, look, also he's 17. Well, he's 18 now,
Oh yeah, I
right?
No,
forgot
you guys were
Shiva. I
struggling.
forgot.
He looked
Wait, okay,
better than
Shiva.
he
Shiva's
was
English. He's
because he was
every
playing. He was playing with Dross
Ah,
around
you're
him,
English, bro.
so he
Ah,
stood
you're
up,
English.
and then he got destroyed by Luka Modric. So I'm waiting for Kobe
It's
Minu to
Luka
get destroyed
Modric.
by
It's
Rodri
Luka
or someone.
Modric.
Bro.
Yes,
It's
but
Luka
that's what I'm
Modric.
saying,
Modric.
right? That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
As soon as he
Bro.
It's
got up
Luka
against
Modric.
someone off that level, so look, I think Bajcetic will eventually be a world-class midfielder, but he's not yet, and we can't talk about him as if he is. And it's the
But
same
we
with
Yeah.
Mainu.
didn't.
He
We
will
didn't
Yeah, we
eventually
talk about
agree.
him like he
become,
was.
Yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
We
agree.
didn't
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about
he's
him
not
like he
the
Yeah,
was.
greatest
there.
midfielder in the world.
Yeah,
There.
we
There we
please.
go.
Wait, wait,
There
wait,
we
Know
wait.
your
have you,
You
master
right?
guys,
today.
We have you.
kids,
You came
wait,
and
wait, wait.
disrespected Bajcetic here because he's
No,
not
I did
English.
not
And
disrespect him.
because you're English, you're English South African. Oh, you're bashing the Spanish players.
Bro,
Did
do
My
you
you
guy,
guys
know how
just
I
many
call Man
support
players?
United
I
fans
support Spain.
keyboard warriors?
Do you know how many
Yeah, we
midfielders
did.
Luka Modric has embarrassed over the
I
years?
Yo.
support I support
Yes.
Spain as a national team. And you can talk about the amount of midfielders that Luka Modric embarrassed. He never embarrassed Andres Iniesta. So I know my Spanish
Oh,
midfielders.
wait. That's the best player in the world. And you want to say
But
the
but
the best player?
you are comparing a Super
A
Saiyan
goat.
to another Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
what I'm
hey,
trying to say
Shiva.
is Bajcetic looked okay. He is good, but he looked better and more mature because he didn't have players around him that were doing the job, and he was doing his job. It's the same
But the
with
fact,
Mino now. He is the only player in that midfield that's actually doing the job. Nobody else is doing the job, so that's why he looks better than he actually is. He has got a long way to go, and so does
Yeah.
Bajcetic. And
100%.
they most
I
likely
agree. I agree.
will make that difference up. And in 5 years' time, we could be talking about they could be Alonso. We could argue who's better between Bajcetic and Xabi Alonso, right? But right now, we
No,
cannot
we
put too
won't do
much
that.
pressure on
You
these
might
kids.
do that. You might do those
We're not
things.
doing that. We are never doing
Here,
that.
we don't
We are
do
never
that
doing
here,
that.
Shiva.
We
Guys,
Shiva,
don't.
we don't do that here.
Shiva,
Yeah.
can I tell you something? I am the biggest nostalgic when it comes to football. I really protect old midfielders. Like when it comes to the old school midfielders, I feel like we rush a lot as football fans to try
To
to
forget.
forget them. You know,
Yeah.
I said this a few years ago. I said Kevin De Bruyne is probably the best midfielder, attacking midfielder I have watched personally. Probably the best I've ever watched. But if we are going to talk about number 8, he's not better than Andres Iniesta. To me.
No one, dude. Okay, for me, no one is better than Iniesta. He's number one at the top on his own.
Hey,
No one
guys,
is better
Kevin
than
De
him.
Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is, guys.
He's
No,
got the brain.
I feel like we don't appreciate him. I personally, I feel like we don't appreciate him for many reasons. I feel as though Kevin De Bruyne is literally one of the most super gifted attacking midfielders football has ever seen. Ever seen.
Yep.
Ever seen.
I agree with you,
He has
but
no
he is
weakness
not
to his game.
Iniesta.
No weakness to his game. You put a dead ball here, he's putting it in the net. You put a ball on the wing, he's finding a player in the box. You put a ball in the middle of the park, he's finding a through pass. You put a ball anywhere, he's finding it, and he can recover and mark and press. He is the quintessential footballer when it comes to an attacking midfielder. He drives with the ball. But when I think of Andres Iniesta, it's literally everything he can do with flair, with absolute amazing genius.
I think
That
Iniesta had things to
extra
his game that
second.
Kevin De Bruyne doesn't.
Close control.
But you can't quantify it with a technical ability.
You can.
Which ability?
Because there isn't a player in the world, maybe aside from Leo Messi, that is as good as receiving the ball as Andres Iniesta was. In any position, in any situation, even if there's 3 men on him, you could give him the ball and you knew he would look after it.
I'm sorry, Xavi Hernandez played in his own team. No one was better on that team at receiving the ball.
I can take Xavi, but Iniesta was better at receiving the ball
No one
than
in world
Xavi.
football was better than Xavi at receiving the ball. He was
Iniesta
the most
was.
press-resistant midfielder ever. Sergio
Yeah,
Busquets was the closest.
No, look,
this is
they were both
after school conversation.
like,
guys,
look,
can we...
we're comparing. It's like Iniesta's like at like 99% perfect, and Xavi is like 98.5% perfect.
101.
So we're really clutching at straws here.
101
But
ability.
let me
When
tell
it
you
comes
why. Let me tell you what Iniesta could do that Xavi couldn't do was Iniesta could receive a ball without even taking his touch. He could like dummy it and let it go through, and just by the shape of his body.
The feint. You're talking about the feint.
Exactly, the feint.
No,
Xavi was very good at.
That was
Xavi was no. Xavi was very good at scanning the ball before it got to him and knowing what he wanted to do with it before he had it. But the feint, it was Iniesta.
Shiva. Xavi.
No, man. You can't compare Modric. Modric is not in this conversation. Modric is not in this conversation.
He's a Real
at
Madrid
all.
fan. Temba is a Real Madrid fan.
Modric is not in this conversation, guys.
He's a Real Madrid fan. So I understand his point. And I don't disagree. This is why I always say, when it comes to technical ability, I don't think there's anything Modric, Iniesta have over Kevin De Bruyne. Technically, nothing. The only thing I would put for Iniesta had magic. He had flair that these other 2 guys don't have. These other 2 European guys don't have. He had that extra bit of flair. That's it. Technically, Iniesta is just the same as these other guys. That's why, to me, I'll always place Modric, Iniesta, and KDB in the same conversation. Forever. Forever. To me, they are the best we've ever seen play their position. Ever.
Okay, guys, can we close it?
I'm gonna have to disagree on that. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
disagree on that.
Yeah,
Iniesta
guys,
is a step above.
We'll have to have a debate show where we discuss midfielders. We actually have to have one.
After school is after school at this rate.
Yeah.
No one said. No, you guys still have to answer about Ricardo Kaká.
Okay.
What happened?
We need a day.
As soon as you go there, it gets tougher.
Guys, are you guys free this week? You guys can tell me when you're free.
Yeah, we'll chat on the group.
Is the Champions League fixtures this week?
Yeah, they are.
Arsenal.
That means I can't do Wednesday. Liverpool's playing Wednesday, but not in the Champions League.
Look at you.
Oh, you step up. They make you guys practice for next season.
Wait, Liverpool is playing when? On Thursday, right?
Wednesday. We're playing Luton. It's our makeup game for the cup final.
Sorry,
Yep.
I think about Europe when it comes to the middle of the week.
Yeah.
So we're not playing. Why do you think about Europe? Do you know why you're not playing this week? Okay, do you know why your team is not playing this midweek?
Yes,
It's because
he finished
you're
11.
not going to have a European fixture later on. So they knew
That's
they
fine.
could put your fixture whenever they wanted.
Shiva,
They didn't have to rush it.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm allowed to think about Europe. I've won the competition twice. I've won European competition 4 times. So I'm allowed to think about those things. No, that's fine. I'm allowed to think about them.
And I think we've also got
qualifying
4 Europa Leagues, if I'm not mistaken. Might be 3. Might be 3.
I was just qualifying why I'm allowed to talk about Europe. You know, oh yeah, Guti. But Guti was, how can I put it? He was a street baller of his time.
He was
Nah,
a street
Guti can
baller.
wait, bro.
Like,
There's still
he wouldn't make it in today's
Clarence.
game.
There's still Clarence Seedorf, bro. Our Guti can wait.
Yeah,
They're not even
Seedorf
close
as well.
to Seedorf, bro.
I look forward to this midfield list.
Yeah, the
it's going to be an
midfield one.
interesting
Midfield list
fight.
is gonna be something else.
Gonna
We
be
need
insane.
to crown the GOAT midfielder.
Yeah.
For me, there isn't an argument. There isn't an argument. It's Iniesta, and you
I'm a
guys can
Shiva.
argue whoever you want about number 2.
Shiva.
I'm a Shiva. Andres, yes.
Hey,
I'm
all right,
sorry,
guys.
I'm sorry. It's not him.
Yeah. Okay,
It's not
guys.
him.
All right, X. I say we'll have a show and we'll chat about it.
Yeah, we'll
it's
have
not
a
him.
show, guys, about this. But guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. Gents, thank you so much for availing yourself. This is Easy Sport. We out. Sure, what
Wallah.
you.
Cheers, guys.
Peace.